people love that shit.
I'm gonna put this in the beginning of the episode. Hi guys, welcome back to Let's Be Honest. It's just me and Galaxy today. We have some very special guests. We have Mario. Hey Mario. Camille.
Cam, don't tell people my name.
Oh my god.
Cam with a K.
Alright. Selena and Dre.
Ready?
Alright, so we're just, obviously it's Black History Month theme because you see we got all these accessories, all this apparel going on.
I ain't got nothing.
It's alright. It's alright.
Like I didn't know, you know what I mean? I ain't
Dressed
dressed
up
up.
all black.
It's okay. It's okay. We're wearing dark colors, so it's
All
okay.
black.
So I'm just gonna give you guys some quick Black History Month real quick. Black History Month began as Negro History Week, created by Carter G. Woodson in 1926, and it wasn't until 1976 that became a month-long celebration. Just in case y'all didn't know that.
Oh, we got here the shortest month.
I don't know. Alright guys, well, this one's for the guys and then maybe the girls could interject. What is it like to be a black man in America?
You wanna go first? You wanna take this one?
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead, bro.
It's like to be a black man. It's kind of always being aware. Every time you go somewhere, you kind of got to know who's in that space, how they're going to perceive you when you walk in. Knowing that they kind of look at you a certain way. So I'm not saying don't be yourself, but you got to know how you're kind of perceived when you go in certain places. Like at all times, no matter if you go into a store where it's like, oh, you know what I mean, like people don't look like you in there. Or you go into like a classroom, you're the only black kid in your class. Like everywhere, it's like I feel like everywhere you go. You know?
I don't know. Like just being a black man in Trump's America, honestly, it's kind of difficult, honestly, because wherever you go, there's a target on your back. You know what I mean? As soon as you step out the door, no matter if you in the hood or you're in a nice neighborhood, you have to accept the realization that, you know, I could leave and not come back. You know what I mean? And
Say that again.
you had to accept the realization as a black man that like, I could leave my house and not come back. You know, this could be the last time I see my mom, my girl, my dog, all that.
Chills.
You know what I mean? Well, it's great. It honestly is great though. It's never a better time to be black right now because we're finally starting to be heard. Everybody's realizing that the culture and the features that they tried to kill for hundreds and thousands of years is popping. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everywhere. Y'all out here trying to sell out do-rags. They call them fashion caps.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Honestly, like, I'm Hispanic. Like, I'm Dominican and Panamanian.
You black.
And, yeah, like, by association. But because, like, people see me as Spanish. Like, they see me as, like, I'm Spanish. Like, I have been seen as black, like people, depending on how dark I am, because I range in color depending on the time of the year. But what I know is I never knew about this. I didn't know about this problem until I got a little older, maybe like high school.
Really?
Yes, I didn't know that this happens, that this happened in the black community until Trayvon Martin. I had no idea this went on.
Happened.
I mean, question for you: doesn't this also happen in the Latin community as well? I mean, I was talking to Dr. Kynes yesterday about black people in Latin communities. You know, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, even Brazil, where you know black people still deal with the same type of prejudice and stigma that we deal with here.
Yes, but it's more of a skin color kind of thing. It's literally that. I know sometimes some people claim that you're more desirable if you're lighter. Me myself, I when I was younger, I was insecure about my color until I grew to love myself. And it's sick because in my culture, we're given dolls with no face. The girls' dolls have no face. They range in colors from as dark as you to as light as.
That's pretty dark.
As an albino, yes. Like they range. I remember none of my dolls had faces. And
feel about you know, the way you have to act differently in front of a white person, police officer, anything. Like, how do you feel about that?
I find that particularly annoying. How you kind of have to change the way you speak. How you gotta dress a certain way, or just kind of change it to, or they kind of want you to change it to a voice. I got real tired of that by the time I got to like senior year high school, like doing job interviews and meeting people. After a while, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna keep putting this. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna keep trying to speak this way. So I started speaking more like myself. So like even if I'm in a job interview right now, like I'm not gonna throw a whole bunch of big words, try to sound smart. I'm not gonna, try to put on a little nice accent. Like I'm just gonna literally speak. I speak to them how I'm speaking to you guys, cause
You shouldn't have to.
yeah, you start to get tired of it after a while. So that's how I feel about how you gotta operate in like job interviews and stuff like that.
Nah, that's facts.
No.
I feel like that's just bullshit. Nah, I really consider that.
I completely get where you're coming from, but I feel like growing up, not that we're taught that, but I feel like growing up, we get put in predicaments where, like, for instance, where I came from high school, I came from a very diverse high school. However, it was mixed with 4 different towns.
Yeah.
3 of the towns were predominantly white. So I feel like it's not that I was taught that growing up, but it was more of like I was always around those white people, always around white people, and it was like if I'm myself every day. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But if I was too much like myself or too much of myself, I was being belligerent or I was being ghetto.
Then
They don't
when-
understand it. They don't get that. Like, I feel like even male or female, you have to put on a front. Being African American, you have to put on a front or a different person for these white people because they feel as though everything that we do or everything that we try to depict is different.
It's
They try
scary.
to make it
They're
seem like
scared.
we're like they try to make it seem like them. It's always been them and us, but they make it prevalent today. Like they make it known, and they're not afraid to make
I
it
feel like
known.
it's gotten worse.
Especially ever since
In
we
our
got
life,
Trump.
if our life,
Ever
yes.
since we got Trump, it's been horrible. And I
Because
feel
they
like
feel
they
like
make
they can
it.
do what they want
They
now.
feel like they can do what they want now because it's not a black man in charge anymore.
It's kind of like a mask.
But when a black man was in charge, we didn't run around disrespecting people, lynching
Oh,
people.
no.
You've seen
now,
it, like
now
it's
it's funny. Now it's
We
on the
could
news.
have.
Like,
We could have.
We could have, and now it's on the news, and it's funny because I was telling my mom on the phone yesterday. Actually, I was saying I find it so funny how racism and slavery and all these things existed, but we created half the things that they used against us. Half the things that they use against us, we created.
Next question
Mad
is,
orange.
how do other races view the black man?
Ooh.
Let's let Camille start this. Let me rephrase the question. When we say how do other races view black men, I mean like the way that they are treated in America. Like how do you view that? Like
Thugs,
yeah,
criminals.
I'm not gonna lie.
you just gotta, like, interject in your
When I was younger and I got to America, my parents always told me like be careful with if you see a dark black man coming towards you, but that's not even coming towards me, but always be surrounded. They were always associated with drugs, gang violence, being out on the corner, stuff like that.
See,
That's the way the media portrays it. When people from other countries come here, that's the first thing they think of when they see a black man.
Which is why I say we're always hyper aware because you know how people looking at you.
But then again,
that's what I mean. You gotta
And it's like you're not even pulling on for yourself. You have to represent the entire culture.
There are some of them that mess it up for you because you can't lie.
Oh, always,
You
always.
can't lie and tell. Not even you can't lie, but you can't tell me that you yourself have not walked past an alleyway and seen black men in there, and you yourself have not gotten a little rattled up.
I don't care who is.
Listen, if I
I'm
see
most likely gonna walk down the
anybody in the
alleyway
alley,
anyway.
if I see a
No,
white
but
man,
if it was a white man on the corner with a bunch of other white guys, I wouldn't really be too rattled up.
Nah,
But-
that's ridiculous.
See, that's ridiculous.
At night they might wear hoods. I don't know.
Wait.
I want to say something. That's the thing. Like, America has put it in y'all minds that black men are fucking animals when they're not. You can see a group of black men on the street and they could be having fun, but you see them and you see men that are selling drugs. Why can't they just be having fun, throwing dice? Like, black men love to play dice
Oh, they
and like
should.
get real shit. So why
I
can't
see some dice. I see some dice.
Like,
black
I
men just
hate
love to
it.
be alive, like they love to
do our
live.
thing.
Exactly.
And you know, Ryan Coogler, the one who did Black Panther, said like in Africa, you know how they say if you're hanging out and like let's say you were hanging out in front of like Birch or something, all your friends, everybody like hanging out, and people like a cop would say, oh, it's like a gang of black kids. But Ryan Coogler said when he's in Africa, that's what you do when you're trying to show people how deep your squad is.
The cops here even do that. The cops here even do that shit.
Word, it's like
Really?
in Africa, you have to have everybody out in front of your house because that shows how deep your roots are.
Yeah.
So and we brought the same thing over here, like when you stand out in front of your house, you're showing how big your family is. But when other people say, oh, it's a group of people doing, delinquent things, it's a gang of people.
And you know what's crazy? That shows how much like how we're not too far removed from what our ancestors used to do. Like a lot of our tendencies are the same. Our tendencies are the same. A lot of tendencies are the same.
All right, I guess Camille's in this too. How is it being a black woman in
Let me start
America?
this one up.
Let's go.
I feel as though being a black woman in America has to be one of the most enlightening, most hardest things to deal with growing up. Because I feel as though growing up, I know who I want to be, I know who I am. I'll be honest, I didn't love me until I got to middle school. I learned about myself, I learned about who I am, I learned about who I was as an individual. Trying to get people around me that know me or people around me that don't know me, because we're talking about in America, people around me that do not know me, trying to get them to figure out who I am was one of the dumbest things I think I ever tried to do. And I feel like they all view us, black women, as aggressive, ghetto, belligerent. All these things that are derogatory and negative that have nothing to do with who we are as individuals. And I feel like they take that to their advantage. Because if I walk in to get a job and a white woman it's a group interview and it's me and the white woman, I promise you they're not even going to call me back. They might email her and say, hey, you didn't get the job. They won't even call me back to tell me I didn't get the job. She might even get that job. And it's simply because of the color of my skin. It doesn't matter if I talk like her, if I look like her, if my hair is like hers. Because I'm an African-American woman, what I have to say and what I do does not matter. That drives me up the wall.
That don't get to
Get into it.
I think it's really hard growing up as a black woman in America because you have to prove yourself so much. Like for me, I want to go into the medical field.
Damn, take the
And every time I tell somebody I want to go into the medical field, they're like, what? Really? Like it's something so rare. Like, yes, I'm smart. I want to do that. I want to pursue a medical career. And it's so annoying, especially with my name. My name is Galaxy Star Douglas, which is a different name. Like your name's Mary. Your name's Selena. Your name's Camille.
I get
My name
It's Kayla. Why you keep saying? People keep saying my
Oh, we already know. Like we said it on this like 4 times. Like they know your name.
Right.
Okay, and so my name is Galaxy, and
with an I.
with an I. I can't stress that enough. And it's like, I feel like every time I say my name, I feel a little bit embarrassed because they look at me as if my name is ghetto. Like, why can't my name just be different? Like, oh, wow, your name is ghetto. I remember I had a friend.
White people can name their kids Apple and stuff. And be,
Sunflower. I met a motherfucker named Sunflower. Sunflower.
And it annoys me so much, guys, because I remember one time my friend told me that her aunt saw my name and she was like, Galaxy Star, that's a ghetto-ass name. Is she black?
It's really not ghetto.
Why is it ghetto?
I was like, oh, I knew your name. You know how she knew your name before I knew you.
Stormy, she don't have the best life. Right?
Exactly, Stormy.
Y'all be the same fucking
But my name
Chicago.
is ghetto just because I'm black and my mom was creative. She's not creative, she's ghetto. And it just annoys me so much. Like, we always have labels
How
on
you
us.
got it?
No.
And Brianna's Brianna.
I don't even know.
Sunflower.
That's a whole...
Yo.
No lie,
Sunflower.
my parents name all of us so that when you see our name somewhere, you wouldn't be able to guess where our race is.
Nah.
Like you see my name's Mary Lennon, but like, and you would think that I was a white lady, would you not? Like Mary Lennon, like,
Yeah.
come on.
That's some real,
My brother's name is George Lennon, like, come on. We all
That just sounds like a white man, yeah.
I just
Man,
because
that sound like-
my parents
Sound like New
didn't-
Balance sneakers.
He wear
Word.
polo with
It's so funny because I want to be a lawyer. And every time we get into debates in class or we get into discussions in class, my professor will ask, like, what do you want to be? Like, everyone police officer. I'm always in classes with white people. I'm probably the only black girl with a bunch of, probably like 4 black guys and the rest is white males. And it's always, what do you want to be? And everyone's a police officer or go to the military. And I say lawyer, and they're all like, oh yeah, well, you're aggressive enough for that. And I always want, like, what do you mean I'm aggressive enough? What do you mean I'm assertive enough? Like, and I know it's targeted to that because I'm always the only black girl.
Yeah, you
And
know,
I'm you can tell. I feel like that's one of
know.
those things, you can tell when people they don't have to say it, at all,
You
but you
just
can
know.
tell when they're directing the things that you're doing to the fact that you're an African
It's like
American
some
person.
passive
Yeah, it's,
aggressive
it's
bullshit.
like it's like it's like whistleblowing, like just like they do in politics. So like
It's the same. It's
yeah,
everywhere.
it's the same. Like, Donald Trump didn't have to come out and be like, yo, I want all the people who don't like minorities come vote for me. Like he didn't have to say that, but
That's exactly.
His-
You
I mean,
undertones
his
to
entire platform is based off of division and racism. We
I-
gonna
it's
sell
like
all
the
Mexicans
undertones
back,
to
we gonna build
everything.
a wall.
Everyone knew what it was. You know what I mean? He's not
He
gonna
brought out
say
like
it
every,
right
you know how you know you're racist and I kind of have to hide your racism. Like, but when Donald Trump started coming out, they like took off their skin. You know the Wiz when they took
Nah.
off all the things. They
Also,
done
bro,
took off their skin and
also,
now.
bro,
Oh, sorry.
I like having him in office for one reason only. Cause you see the hate that was festering in America.
Exposed.
You see everybody's true colors and they exposed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And now we have to
Forced
talk
us to
about it because he had to face the past and we had to face the reality of this country's sins. The same way that Germany had to face the Holocaust and shit like that, which y'all always tell them don't never forget. But when black people bring up slavery,
Forget it already.
when black people
It was
bring up
over.
slavery, it's like, oh, that was
But slavery never ended. It just was reformed.
Oh no, it's still going on.
Right.
That shit's still going on.
I just feel like it's tucked under the rug because people think, oh, nobody does that anymore. There's
You know-
literally still slaves.
Get into that. I got you.
Where were we at, bro? Like,
We were talking about.
All right.
Wait, no, but I have another thing to go on with that. Black women were seen as a fucking trend. That is
we're
so
seen as like a fetish.
annoying.
Like,
How you
oh,
feel
I
about the
wanna.
trend?
Sis,
Oh,
like,
See, okay, the thing is, like, I'm not trying to be
We
rude,
got
but you're
a
not
list.
black, so you don't see it. Like, black
She's
girls,
Dominican,
we
that's
have.
Nah,
No,
there's
no,
difference.
when you're
It's
Spanish,
There's a difference.
no,
It's different.
when you're, I feel you 110% because when you're Spanish, you're the Spanish mommy. Oh, okay, Spanish mommy.
Exactly.
She gotta be round. She gotta be real.
She gotta have an attitude.
She gotta have
That fire.
Nah,
That's what I'm
I just
talking
come
about.
with it.
It's different. It's very different from if you're a Spanish
Wait,
person.
that's what I'm talking about. You
Because I
see
feel
how
like you guys
Camille.
are glorified a little more. We're gentrified, y'all glorified.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is. I feel like it is like that because
That's exactly what it is. We're
Because-
gentrified and y'all are glorified.
because because I've been referred to as a Spanish mommy. Oh, okay. Like they're always you have to have a silhouette. You always have to have nice hair.
You gotta have hips. If you don't have hips and you're Spanish,
You're
then what
frowned
you doing?
upon,
Yeah,
and
like what's?
When you're Hispanic, you're either too fat or you're too skinny. Like there's no in between. Like me, I'm considered fat. Like I've my whole life I've been considered overweight. Yes, my whole life. Just because I'm round, I'm a little rounder than my friends,
Right.
and I've been picked at. Like weight in the Hispanic community is probably one of the worst things you can ever in front. Ever. If you're fat or your kids are fat, your whole family's calling you fat behind your back.
Hey, but let me point something out to you. You see how you're saying you're Spanish mommy? We're hood rats. and
Black bitch,
Black bitch. And
Oh,
baby
ghetto
mom,
kids, baby mothers.
We're crazy.
and-
welfare.
No,
We're
but it's not
crazy.
even
But
a
it's
matter
different.
of
It's hurtful. Like it's the worst hurtful thing ever. When people, like I was thinking about my mom when I'm talking about a black woman. Like she's the most elegant, most respected, not just black woman, but woman that I've ever met. And to think that somebody could ever give her those names and that like she's nothing like that. But if you saw her in like her sweatpants and like her sweatshirt walking down the street, like somebody would just automatically think that about her.
But if she was a white lady, she would be chic and trendy.
Exactly. Like she is I'm telling you, like my mom is the best woman that I know, but the fact that people put these names on us and everything, like we are nothing like those names at all. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm nothing like that. But the fact that we have to prove ourselves, like I'm in the film industry, I don't know how many times I have to prove myself to a man or a white man that I know what I'm talking about. Just because she doesn't know what she's talking about. I told this one person I'm a film major. Oh, that's cute. Like,
What I
Like it's a hobby.
What
or
I
something.
hate
Yeah.
is when people make comments about people of color. They say, "Oh, she's pretty for a black girl. Oh, she has nice hair for a black girl. Why can't she just have pretty hair?"
since the 2016 election, we're saying America.
Worst day in America?
Almost.
The worst
The election was the worst day in
Yeah,
America.
I think I was
I remember that
shocked.
day.
Man, listen.
How have things changed? Have they changed?
How things change? More and more people are talking about politics now. Like I remember one point, everybody knew about it, but no one was really having classes.
Nobody
Nah, we
Nobody
took-
cares
we
about
took that
politics
shit
until
as a
now.
fucking joke.
Exactly.
We took that shit as so much of a joke that
It happened.
Motherfuckers voted for Hennessy.
Harambe.
Remember that?
Harambe.
Yo.
There was motherfuckers voting for these nuts.
But the racist.
For Obama, you'd have to search it up to see it. Because
Right.
as soon as Obama became president, you had a black dummy that was getting lynched in front of people's houses. See, you guys might not know about that. But if you would
Yeah,
search up
I
about it, like, it's
never-
there. It was never
in the
hidden.
news, though, they never
The thing
reported
is, it was there. They just never reported it. And the
Exactly.
thing is that now white people, they just don't give a shit.
Fox
Trump's their
News-
president. Now
Fox
they're doing
News
it.
Because they have the
Crazy
power.
now.
They know they have the power.
Fox News doesn't care what they say about what do they say about LeBron James?
Shut up and dribble.
What?
LeBron
That
James and Kevin
annoyed me
Durant.
so
But yeah, but Fox
much.
News, that's what Fox News does. That's why I don't even watch
Fox
it. That's
News
who
is-
they-
But
in
now even
Fox
those
News.
athletes, not even those athletes that didn't even get involved in politics, people who didn't even actors are actually starting to get involved
And they're
in
like,
politics.
if you're an actor, if you're an athlete, like, what do you know? Like, how are you allowed
Exactly,
to talk?
like,
They're
when those
citizens of America.
And they still pay taxes.
And those athletes are doing more work in their communities than these news anchors are doing.
LeBron
So,
James
I mean,
says
like,
1,100 kids. I think he sent 1,100 kids to college so far. 1,100 kids. Mind you, that's cost about 40 million. I ain't know college is that damn expensive.
Oh, it is. College is a
40 million for 1,100 kids. That's fucking ridiculous. But that's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
bad.
so you
But
got
now
some-
you have everyone using their platform now in order to bring light to these topics, to let them know that we will not be silent.
Yeah.
And I feel as though as young Black Americans, you know, it is our job to lead the movement and make sure that it does not die. To
Right.
continue this
Let me
fire.
tell you something. I was watching Vice the other day, and he was having lunch with
I
the
love
white
Vice.
supremacists.
What device?
It's a great
Like,
it's a TV channel.
It's a channel.
I
What's your
was
voice?
Is it something
He
on
was-
Netflix?
No, sis, it's Vice on HBO. But let me digress. He was having lunch with a white supremacist, and he said the only reason why he voted for Trump was because he's like, Trump's an idiot. But the only reason why I voted for him is because voting for him would guarantee that white people would not become a minority in America. Like,
That's
if you
really
think
what they're
about
afraid
that,
of.
like,
That's really what they're afraid of.
they're scared
They're
of
so,
us.
because they listen. It's like we were saying before, like hundreds of years, all the type of things that
400 years. You had a 400 year head start. How we catching up?
That's exactly.
How we almost neck and neck? You had 400 years.
See, they seeing us and catching. You know what I mean? We're catching up. So there's a lot more Spanish people around. It's like, yo, they're so scared because
They
know.
feel threatened.
Listen, all I'm saying is I'll never wish this, but if it was reversed and black people was oppressing white people for 400 years, trust me, they ain't getting out of it. They ain't getting out of it. They ain't getting out of it. They're just not built. They're not built
You know
like
what
that.
it is.
They're not built like that. So any type of competition, you know, what I mean? They're like, oh, we ain't trying to be a minority.
Hold on, my God.
Because they know.
You know how, like, in high school, like, somebody robbed you and you find out who it is and that person's, like, scared? I feel like white people robbed us for so long that, like, they're starting to get scared because they're, like, they don't realize that, like, we're really gonna get them.
I've never heard that analogy. I like
Chad, what do you guys? How do you guys feel about the deportation of immigrants? Like, it's not just Spanish people anymore. It's Haitian people, it's Jamaican people, African people. Everybody is being deported.
Anybody that don't got melanated.
Because I have my parents live
Yeah,
in-
because like for me, my mom, she's an immigrant. She's an immigrant from Jamaica. She moved to London and then she moved to America. And the thing is, with illegal immigrants, I understand that it's hard and you want to come to this country, but like do it legally. Like my mom had to do it legally and she paid so much money for it. Like I know you guys are like pursing your lips. I'm not saying like anything bad. Like that's how I feel.
I mean, I
honestly,
honestly wish the process was a lot easier.
easier.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
let me tell you something. My mom, okay, so my dad, when he came to this country, he worked here, he became a citizen. Then he brought my mom here, my sisters. My sisters were born and raised in Trinidad. He brought my sisters here. I'm the only one of my siblings that was born here. So when he came to America, my sister that passed away, she went to public schools here. So in order to go to public schools here, like she was legalized, all that. But my other sister and my mom, because my sister was over 25, she couldn't do what my other sister did. And then my mom as well, she was more of like, she just had me here. So I was like her token. Like they knew they couldn't send, like I was her token until I turned 18. And she knew that. So my mom got her citizenship. And when my mom did it, my sister did it. Let me tell you, they give you a booklet. They give you a 225-page booklet
Jeez.
of things you need to remember. Stupid questions like, who was the second president of the United States? Or how much is the minimum wage in 2014?
Some people born here
Things-
don't even know this.
that's exactly what I was about to say. Things that people who have been born here, who have been here for time and time, effortless time, don't know. And I think it's one of the most ridiculous things I see why people illegally come to this country, because the process to do it is
Ridiculous.
it's so strenuous and so extensive. Not even, it's just so uncalled for, unnecessary. And I feel like it's different if you're asking me things that happened within the last 10 years. But if you're asking me things that happened before Columbus even discovered us, that has no purpose in my citizenship to be in this country. My parents are legal now, but I promise you, if my mom didn't get her citizenship before Trump was in, she would get deported. And it's sad, but it's true.
I think the craziest part about it is, you remember when they built the Great Wall of China, how we talk so much crap about it, like how Americans said that's so wrong. Look at our president. He's trying to build a wall to keep people from trying to come here to seek a better life for themselves.
Well, the Great Wall of China, they needed that because people was trying to come
people
and kill
were
them.
trying to come.
That was a war, so they had to do that.
If anything, talk about the Berlin Wall. Talk about the Berlin Wall.
People's coming to kill
That's
them.
what I'm talking about.
The Berlin Wall.
Berlin Wall is fighting like communism.
The Berlin Wall is the one with all the graffiti, right? And shit, yeah. No,
Not China.
Sorry.
They needed that wall.
They needed that
They
wall.
needed that wall.
But I get what you're saying, but but like the thing is, like I said before, like all my best friends are Mexican, and like I've seen my best friend since she was 5 years old came here. She's about to be 20 years old, and she's still not a citizen because they keep pushing stuff back and back and back to get you more money.
Like as far like when it comes to immigration, like you talk about the test. I remember having to take that stupid test. Like I literally remember. I remember studying for. I remember my parents studying. Like I remember that stupid test, and my parents paying all this money. I just feel like when it comes to how to deport people, like now it's like the Haitians all got to go back from the earthquake. It's like I just feel like it's another thing like systematically that they use. Like they know who is here, they know the percentage, they know where you are, and now that somebody's in office that can push the buttons, it's like who we sending back first? Because he knows who's in Florida. You know what I mean? They know it. It's like who.
And